Welcome back to Indian Trace. I have a display where I keep quartz points that are not on my top shelf, that I keep points that are old quartz, but that's all relative. That I keep unique quartz points, and they're certainly not perfect in our postmodern judgments about what's perfect in terms of an artifact or an arrowhead. But these are incredible and have definitely unique characteristics. So you're going to really get to see these up close. Of course, the quest came in to show some of the stuff that I have underneath in my display. Excuse me. These quartz points are incredible to me. I've kept them. Like I said, they're nothing close to a 7mm Remington mag, which is an absolute perfect cartridge, or a 308, or anything like it. You know, a 30-06. We can pump out 2 million, 5 million of those bullets, and they're all exactly the same. But these right here, made by their owners, are made for a reason. Survival. Vital survival. So I think about that when I look at these points, and these are some awesome quartz points. And I'm going to give you a close-up of these quartz points because they're super solid on a material that is super hard. And I haven't seen some of these in 3 years, 4 years. So I'm certain you haven't. Some of these I know have not made film. Here's a point here from the bear. Solid quartz. You'll get a glimpse of how truly transparent it is if I can get the right camera angle and the right focus on it. Actually, come think of it, this was found at Stone Mountain. I remember that day. And although it's what some people call gargoyle-ish or chunky, this is a fabulous. If you could handle it, you would feel how work they made this thing. Once they hefted it in again, it was going to be coming, and it was going to be delivering some serious impact. Nice point though. To open it up, old quartz. Old quartz. Let's go counterclockwise today. Point from Notchville 1. Is it a quartz Rowan? I don't know. Is it a unique piece of quartz? For sure. Definitely not paying attention to how thin they are or how thick they are. But you'll see there's certain characteristics about them that you just, you gotta love. So hopefully the winter's going well for a lot of people out there that want to relax and check out some really great quality, authentic artifacts from Eastern, Central North Carolina. I don't have any problem with it. It's better than eating lunch or just take a little bit of a break and do them. A couple short videos. These are easy to grab, easy to focus, and I know if I haven't seen them, like I said, a lot of people out there haven't seen them. This one I'm not sure was on film. This one was on film, but maybe 3-4 years ago, and a lot of people do not travel. They don't go back in history and check out people's finds to see what their history is. I do. I'm just obsessive about it. I want to see where you've come from, what you found. This is an incredible point from the archaic smoky quartz point. Don't know what the best angle will be with the light, but it's a brutal point. Quartz is super hard. So coming at terminal velocity is frightening because I know they were strong. Man, I know their arms and their shoulders, their wrists, how they developed their atlatl. It must have been coming, buddy. And with accuracy, they were good. They were good because of the sheer abundance that you and I are finding all over the country of stone points that held them down for thousands and thousands of years, put meat in their bellies for thousands of years. Look at this point here. Unique point from Coyote Pass. It is smoky quartz. So if it's not about the people that you're collecting artifacts, what are you collecting artifacts for? And that's what I ask myself. For me, it's always about the people, the person. It's not just the man who made these points or who made this point. I know that's sexist, isn't it? Well, they did have gender roles, which a lot of today's postmodern society thinks they are too educated for. Yeah, they had gender roles and it suited them. But it wasn't just about this. When I think about these points, it wasn't about the man that was out there hunting. It was about the female who was back there doing many, many things that were really hard work to do. Processing, game, hides, clothing, shelter. At this point, from Whitestone. And the tip is not broken off. It's so rounded off and worked off into an edge. I guess they might have worked that right off. And a lot of people want to argue, say every single one of these is just a blade or something like that. Listen, I know what they needed most. Nice piece, right? Got to keep it. Which was food. Think about it. If you're interested in the North American Indian, these videos might be good for you because we got to think it through. Look at that piece of strawberry quartz tip on the top of that Morrow Mountain. Found at Deer Pass. It's great stuff, isn't it? Old quartz. I mean, 4,000 years ago, there was a man hunting with this who was looking to put food in the belly of his children. He had a woman he loved who he wanted to bring home the bacon for. You know what I mean? If he could bring home a great kill, some big game, his status went up in the tribe or the clan. It's just natural how that worked. Here's a great point from Site 6. Very unique. Of course, they're all translucent. Old quartz. Since it's unseen and I don't see it that often, winter gives us a good opportunity. It slows things down with me, I guess. Fields lock up. And we can get these things shown. I would love it if any of you would share more about your displays and what have you. It's not just about the finds out in the field. I mean, that's fun when we can do it. I'll do it when I can. But I'm always curious when I see a lot of the footage out there, and I see many people doing some great video footage stuff of, what's amounted to. Where's the point now? If I see somebody find a great find, how have they grouped it? How have they kept it together? What they're thinking about when they're out there collecting this stuff. Incredible community, right? Okay, as we keep going, we're finishing up. Here's a point that I found actually fairly recently. Old quartz, though. Unbelievable. One of my favorite pieces. Don't know why. Just absolutely favorite piece. I got a lot of favorites. This piece here was found at the clay pot. Look at that base, will you? Sure, it's a rough piece of quartz, but many quartz that's sort of speckled like this, sort of old quartz, I like to call it, might not be, is just great stuff. Look at that piece. The clay pot. Haven't seen enough of the clay pot. I love the clay pot since Site 4. I don't get to go there that often, so don't hear about it that often, but hopefully we'll find some more stuff there. It's only about 3, 4, 5 miles back into the woods. But there's been people there. Look at that piece. Now, in the middle pieces as we finish up, here's another piece from Deer Pass. I remember this was on film. It was crazy sticking up in the sun. Maybe because it was this base. How do you melt? How do you carve quartz like you're looking at right here, you guys who nap? I mean, talk about smooth, all this stuff. How do you do it? I mean, some of this quartz is like it absolutely melted. They melted it with a heat iron to get these awesome notches where they could haft it in. Solid stuff. And the final Marl Mountain here from Notchville. Smoky quartz. Found it in the dry dirt. It's just a solid point. Admiration, not for the rocks, stones themselves, but for the people. These indicate such a deep, pressing daily need. I love that. I love that. And that's probably the thing that I love most. What these indicate. It's not a couple. It's multiplied millions of these curious stone points that we call arrowheads. So from Indian Trace to all of you out there, really appreciate it. And that right there, that's Indian Trace. Be well.